Hello everyone, I'm Sonic Yellow, and welcome to the first part of my Momodora 3 90% tutorial. In this video I'll be going over the first segment, which is Ishlith's Shrine. Timestamps will be in the description for specific screens, and without further ado, let's get right into it. First thing you're going to want to do is delete a file if you don't have a space open. You want to start it up, and time will start whenever you pick a difficulty. I recommend easy mode for any percent because it's just faster. You have 5 hearts instead of the 3 in hard mode, and you start with the dream ring. This makes damage routing a lot better for easy mode, and just makes it a lot faster. I also recommend using control for your split key. It makes it a lot easier. You can press A control very easily like that together. Yeah. Would recommend. You don't have to, but I think it's a pretty good key to use for that. Alright, so this is where you start out. For the first like 5 or so screens, you can pretty much hold right and just react to the environment around you. So like, you start off, you just jump over this block, still holding right. Jump onto this block and over this enemy. Jump here, and right there, the way that I killed that enemy, I want to highlight this. I jumped into it from this block, so like I'm coming from above and to the left of it, like diagonally, and I killed it at the last moment possible. Now what that did is, whenever you kill an enemy, it'll spawn, depending on the type of enemy, it'll spawn a different number of monies, which is the currency in the game, in the center of the enemy once you kill it. From there, they go off in random directions, like it's actually RNG what direction each money goes in, but they all spawn in the center. So if you can position your character to be at the center of the enemy right when the money spawn, then you'll collect all of them every single time. This is not guaranteed to happen with that setup, but I think that's probably the best setup that you can actually get while still going fast. That right there pretty much guarantees at least 3 each time. That time I would have gotten 4 if I kept going and just jumped. But yeah, I would recommend doing that for every enemy if you can without going slowly. This is the only one you can do it on in Shrine, but in Old Madrin we're going to be using that technique a lot. The reason that's important is by the end of Madrin you want to have 300 monies. And yeah, because we're going to be buying something in Hideout that costs 400 and you get 100 for free in Hideout. So you want to make sure you can get as much money as you can by then. Alright, so moving on, you jump after that, and this wooden platform, make sure you're all the way on it before you press, before you jump down, otherwise it'll make the sound for you jumping down, but you won't actually drop down. You'll just like keep walking forward. Oh, I baited that enemy. Hang on, I gotta redo the screen. But if that happens, if you can't time it properly, and you always just walk forward on the wooden platform, you can just press A second time, and then that should drop you down every single time. So if you just spam it after missing it the first time, you'll be fine. Show that screen again. Jump over that enemy. It's not that tight of a timing. It's actually pretty forgiving. Yeah, you just jump out from there, up here, and keep going. Now this screen, you hold right, hold jump, and slash twice to kill both those enemies. You're not guaranteed to get more than like 4 of the monies from those enemies. Usually you'll get like 7-ish. They drop 10 total, but they go in random directions, and you're coming from the bottom, so it's not as guaranteed. If you do a jump there, like at the end, which you should to land on this block anyway, then you'll usually get more than you would otherwise. So the strat here is slash slash jump, and you want to walk off of this block onto this platform, jump right here, and then edge jump to the end. Now you want to make sure you do an edge jump here, which means you don't input jump until your character is like this far off of the edge. Like right there I did it too early. Like my character's not even off the edge. So I only make it up to here. But if you do an edge jump like that, you'll make it every single time. You just have to delay your A input, or your jump input, until your character is a little bit off of the edge. Just to show that all at once. Double slash, jump, jump over, and edge jump. And that's it for that screen. Now this screen, tiny little nuance. You want to jump over this enemy, and to do that, you want to make sure that it actually moves forward. So you want to bait this enemy out before you get to it. And the only reason I'm mentioning this, like, you might not even encounter the problem I'm about to show, but if you jump too early and too low, then the enemy will get baited. It'll just stay there. Which is bad, because if you try to jump over it and it stays in this corner, you're going to get hit, and it's going to waste a lot of time. So if you jump later, it'll get baited out. You can just jump over it like that. So you want to make sure that you don't jump here until like halfway into the block, and you jump like a medium height, not like a super short hop. Otherwise you'll risk it not noticing you. So you just do that, jump over the enemy, hold right, and that's that entire screen. Okay, onto this screen. Now this spring seems to be giving some runners issues. The main thing you want to avoid doing on this spring is jumping into the center of it. If you jump into the center, you'll almost always get hit by this spinning enemy around it. You want to try to jump into the left third of it. Let me show jumping into the center. Oh, actually, I was lucky that time. Didn't get hit. That's usually what'll happen if you jump into the center or the right, like, half of the spring. Instead, what you want to do is jump into the left side, either like that, and then deboost off of the slash, or I'll try to show this right now, like that, and deboost off of the Bach, which is the thing that this enemy throws. When I say deboost, I mean right before you get hit, press left, and it'll push you forward, and then you keep holding right. So just to show one more time, don't get hit by that enemy. Press left, then you immediately hold right. I do a little slash and start charging, because for this room you want to be charging the entire time. You don't have to, but I like charging before, so I don't lose any time by slashing in this room. So this is elevator room. I'm going to let go for now, just so the noise doesn't annoy you. It's going to take a little bit to explain. So basically what we want to do here is jump up these invisible platforms to collect this item up here. This is the speed ring. It will make the run go a lot faster. It, I think, doubles your speed. If not, like, it increases your speed by quite a bit. It's very noticeable. Like, up to this point, we're going pretty slow. Once we get that, we'll move a lot faster. We want to get that while this elevator is going down. You might think, oh, simple, just hit the button and jump out, right? Wrong. There's an invisible wall that's following this elevator. Thankfully, the invisible wall isn't infinite height. It actually only goes up to here. And what that means is that we can do a well-timed pause jump and get over the invisible wall. Like so. Now, this room is hard, and it's only hard if you want to do the optimal strat. So there's two strats here. Either just hold right, pause jump over, jump up like that. Well, I didn't do it very fast there, but you basically pause jump over, jump onto this platform, this one, and then this one. And that's the safe strat. It'll work every single time, consistently. And it loses 0.7 seconds to this strat, which I'll try to show, which is... Oh, I messed it up. Boom. You land on the invisible wall as it's going down, usually around here, and then you jump off of that onto this invisible platform. So you skip going to this one entirely. So from here, you jump here, and then get the speed ring. That saves 0.7 seconds. It's incredibly hard. Well, it's not incredibly hard, but it takes quite a lot of practice. And I'd say it's definitely worth practicing, though. If you have a standard pause jump like I do, then it might be one of the hardest tricks in the game for you to learn. Like the landing on the platform here, or on the invisible wall. If you have a slightly higher pause jump, which means you have a faster firing rate on your keyboard, or you lag a lot, then this trick shouldn't be too hard because you'll go higher immediately, so it'll be easier for you to land on it before it falls down. Regardless, though, you'll still need to practice it a lot, even if you have a off firing rate keyboard. So to show that again, oh whoops, that extra pause was not needed, kind of messed me up. Oh no! Okay, that would have wasted a lot of time if I didn't make that. Okay, there we go. It is kind of hard. But 0.7 seconds is worth it in a game this short. So, the reason we come up here again is to get the speed ring. This is going to be our first instance of picking up an item. Whenever you pick up an item or receive an item that's not bought, there's going to be a jingle and a text box that appears. And you want to cancel out of that text box as soon as you can. So, there's an audio cue for this. The jingle that plays has a certain number of notes. I don't remember. I think it's 10. But on the 5th note, you want to press A. So like right when the 5th note plays, or if you're really good at timing, the frame before the 5th note plays, you can press A and cancel out of it right there and just keep going. Or, well, yeah, and just continue the run. If you spam it, the reason you don't want to spam A to get out of it is you'll end up jumping. And if you jump from this height, you kind of lag. Like you end up getting enough height to actually lag when you land on the block here, which will slow you down by quite a bit. So you want to time it instead of just spamming. So listen for the 5th note here. I'm going to try to show the timing off. Like that. That's the timing you want to cancel it. So you get the speed ring. Once you get that, you want to, like, you'll be holding seals the entire time. You'll be charging seals from the previous room. This becomes important at this point. You want to walk off of this over here while you're falling. Switch, or well, open your menu, press right up or right down to switch to the speed ring. Let me just show this again. And right there, the reason you're holding seals that entire time is as you're falling and reaching the bottom of the elevator, you want to let go of your seals so that they hit this rock over here. Hitting the, or it's not really a rock, but the stone formation here, if you hit it, it's actually a hidden door and it starts opening up. And we want to take a little detour over here to get some more money. Fastest way to open it up is by shooting your cards over here. You want to, optimally, you want to make it so that your middle seal hits this section right here. But hitting anywhere with any of your seals is perfectly fine. Another thing I should mention before I unpause is I'm going to try to jump into it, like into this hole as soon as this much space is open. That way I'll clip into it from the bottom rather than the top, and this saves a few frames. I didn't quite get it. Right there I went in from the top, so it was a little bit slow. If I waited just a few more frames before jumping, I would have clipped into it from the bottom, and that would have made it a little bit faster. So you want to try to time that. It's not absolutely necessary, but it, you know, saving frames in a run this short is always important. Speaking of saving frames, this is the Big M room. I'm gonna save really quick just in case I do something dumb. You don't want to save in an actual run. well, normally you'll have like almost full health anyway. But so there's 2 strats here. Oh, I shouldn't have activated them. There's 2 strats for killing Big M. The first one is you just like bait him and jump over him like this. This is faster, but only if you hit him every single time, like the full 6 shots. So you can get up to 6 slashes on him each time before you jump. And you want to make sure that you bait him to actually hit you before you jump. I would call that the task strat, because it saves like probably 6 frames max, I want to say. I might be off with that, over the RTA strat, I would call it, which is not that. I only hit him once. But basically, for the RTA strat, you want to space yourself to right there after the jump, and then go in this corner, come onto the left side, and just spam attack. And if you space yourself properly from the enemy, then you can actually get 6 hits on him before you run over to the corner. And then he takes 17 hits total, so you only have to do 11 more hits on him here. And then he drops 200 monies, and they all spawn right here. If your game is really laggy, you might notice that once those 200 entities spawn, like, your game just freezes, basically. And if that happens, you lose a lot of time, but you'll notice like where the money spawn. And for this enemy in particular, they don't go in random directions. Because there's 200, I think that would be a little bit too much computational power for this game. So they always expand out in a rectangle. What that means is that once you kill the Big M, what you want to do is press right jump left, and that should collect most of the monies that he drops. Like, if you do that strat, you're pretty much guaranteed to miss at most like 10 that he drops, which is perfectly fine. As long as you come out of this room with 200 or more monies, like the maximum you'd have here is 215 if you don't like kill enemies multiple times like I have in this tutorial. So as long as you come out with 200 plus, you're set. If you have 215, like, perfect. Like, you can kill less enemies later if you want. Yeah, 200 plus would recommend. That's pretty much the entirety of Big M room. After you kill him, right jump left, and then just hold left. Make sure you jump over this button. Don't hit that, otherwise you'll waste time going up in the elevator again. Now for this next room, I'm going to save again, just so I don't have to kill Big M again, because I might die showing the different strats in this next room. There's 2 strats here. They're both actually the same number of frames. I've just compared them. So I'm going to try to show both without dying. One of them I use, one of them most other runners use, I think. I'll show the one I use first. Oh, whoa, I lagged, hang on. You want to jump over this enemy, jump onto the block, wait here, jump over that block that this enemy throws, and then jump up here. That's the strat I use. I'll show one more time. That strat, I don't think it's hard, but it might be... So the only reason I think that strat might be hard is because it makes use of letting go of the directional button and not pressing anything. So like at some points I just like stop pressing buttons. Rather than pressing left to kill my momentum, I just like let go of the left key. Sorry, rather than pressing right. So like I didn't do that. All I did was this, and that killed my momentum and let me line up for another jump. If you learn to do that, this room should be easy with that strat. Here's the other strat though. Boom. Exact same speed. If you perform both cleanly, they're actually the same number of frames. I think the reason is because like the time that it takes for you to get over here and jump up here is the same amount of time that I'm waiting over here with my strat for the perfect jump over that block. So whichever strat you choose to use, whichever one you're more comfortable with, I like that one. I think it's very simple, easy, and it wastes no time. But the other one's perfectly fine. They take the exact same amount of time. Whichever one you use, you want to, at this point, hold left, and get past the screen. So here we have another few strats that people make use of. The first one, the one that I recommend you do not use, running into the spring from the side and pause jumping. So first I should explain why, like, what strats I'm talking about. The boss room is to the left, and usually we're meant to drop down here and go like around the rooms below to get to the boss room. You don't have to do that because there's a hole in this wall right here that the developer left in unintentionally, and I guess he figured, well, no one can jump up to that hole, so there's no reason to fix it. Well, fortunately for us, we have the power of pause jumping, so there's 3 different strats to get up there and into the boss room quickly. The first one I don't recommend, walking into the side and pause jumping like this. You really have very little horizontal momentum with that strat. I think it's slow, and yeah, I just would not recommend it. It's too slow. Second strat is immediately when you get in here, you jump, you hold left, and as you land on it, and you usually make it, but just barely. I think that's definitely making it. Yeah, I held right so I didn't make it, but if you hold left there, yeah, I'll show it one more time, just to show I'm not pulling your leg or anything. Boom, made it. I want to make sure I don't fall in because I can't get out if I do, but you land here, you make it. That strat's okay. It doesn't waste that much time, but I think the vertical, like the downward momentum you have for the beginning of the jump, like, decreases the potential horizontal momentum you could get. That's my theory for it, like why I don't use that strat at least. So the strat I use is jump down here, you jump right, hold left, and then you do that basically. I let go because it wasn't really, I should have explained it first. So you jump into the spring and then kind of press left, hold, enter like that. Ooh, I did that badly. Make sure you hold left for long enough time before you press enter, like that. That, I believe, is the fastest way to get in here. It gives you the perfect height as well. You might have different success with a different strat if your pause jump is higher than normal, but I think with normal pause jump, that's definitely the strat to use. Yeah, so once you get in here with whichever strat you use, I really do not recommend the first one, but either of the other two are fine. Once you get in here, the key, or this item over here, is the key we want to get out of Shrine. So to get it as fast as possible, what you want to do is hold left and then press up as soon as you land, like so. And right there, I cancel out of it as soon as possible, and I jumped out of the boss room here. This wasn't unintentionally left. Once you kill the boss normally, a spring is here and you can use it to get out this way, but we have pause jumps, so we can skip the boss entirely because we already have the key and just get out with the pause jump. So you cancel it just like the timing for the previous item we picked up, the speed ring, and you immediately pause jump up to here. Alright, now I should mention this. You might, if you have higher pause jump, you can actually make this jump here back out the right exit, but this is only possible with a better pause jump. And what that means is it's actually not allowed in the any percent run, because people with standard keyboards and standard firing rates can't use it. So you can't just get out the right side like that. But that saves barely any time anyway. What you want to do is jump out like that. Oh, whoops. Hang on. You want to jump out like so, do a small jump. Make sure you do a really small hop out of this hole, otherwise if you go a little bit too high, let me try to show this. A little bit too high, you'll lag when you land there. Do a small jump, and then kind of maneuver around this. So you go left, right, and then lag cancel at the end. I messed that up a little bit. I pressed slash too early. If you can shift cancel this, like, I really recommend it if you're good at it. This is probably the one place in the run where I would recommend trying shift canceling, because like you're not really doing anything else, and it's just like a lot more consistent. But it's fine if you do other cancels like that. But really, you should practice the maneuvering here and like getting the small hop like that, maneuver, and lag cancel like that. That's basically it for Shrine. Once you get down here, lag cancel, just hold right, jump into the store, press up, and spam A. And that's the entirety of Shrine. Hope this tutorial helped. Give me some feedback in the comments section if you want me to go over something specifically. I might make a video if necessary, or I could respond to your comment with any question or an answer to your question. But that being said, that's it for the Shrine segment, and in the next video I'll be going over Madrid. See you then.